Well, we've got six. We got some on the Zoom. Senator, would you like to come up and present your bill? Senator Chuck Hufstetler?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I tell people I don't really have too many great ideas. I know that the surprise building started. Ideas from other states that we put together. Same on marketplace facilitator and many other things. And this is actually a good idea that was from Georgia from 2010. We were, I think, number 8 in the nation and, in business. And we were doing good in a lot of metrics. Some of them were about midway, but this group got together. They were headed up by a guy named A.D. Frazier. A lot of us probably don't know him, but he and Billy Payne were the guys that headed up the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta and kept them from going to Athens, Greece. And they set up this committee of economists. There was a CPA. I've talked to many of them on the committee, and it was, what do we need to do? And I've got some sheets up there, 2 pages. One of them shows the committee makeup, and the other one shows the executive summary. And I have emailed the chairman the 97-page report by that committee that was their 2-year study on what to do. And many of those things we did, automobiles, transportation, how we changed that up, taking the tax off of energy, many of the things that happened that I think made this state number 1, and according to some of those that were around in the Senate, including the pro tem, feels like this was maybe the biggest impetus for what pushed Georgia ahead in the last decade. And so rather than saying, let's be glad we're number 1, we need to say, what do we need to do different? North Carolina's making some changes. What do we need to do different to continue to make Georgia the best place to do business and to grow even more? And so this would recommend doing the same thing they did on that committee. You've got representatives from the governor, the speaker, and the lieutenant governor. I'll pick a economist. The minority party has a pick in there. We've got people from industry, and in the picks, it doesn't specify CPA, but there was a CPA on that committee. He now lives in Arizona. I had a good conversation with him, and they work together on this through the end of next year, studying these issues and saying, what does Georgia need to do as a whole to be the number 1 business and to be competitive in the marketplace? And, it's many of those recommendations they did, a few of them they didn't, but that's what we're really trying to do, is to duplicate the success of, I'd say 10 years ago, it was actually 11 years ago, but I think once a decade, we need to have a big picture study like this. And that's what's in the bill.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Senator. Good presentation. We're working off LC 43-2001S. Everybody have that? Are there any questions for the senator? 82. I'm not sure who 82 is. Blinking light. Oh, 62. Excuse me, 62.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Quick question. Did you mention there were CPAs on this, or there will be?
There was a CPA on that, and we set it up to where the speaker has a couple of additional picks, and the lieutenant governor, it would be my hope that one is on there, and I think it would be on the committee makeup, but it doesn't specify one. I simply wrote it exactly like they did in 2010, with one exception. There was sort of the transition between Governor Perdue and Governor Deal, and they both were on there. And I didn't see the need for that because we're really not in a transition right now. And we added a pick that would be the minority leaders of the House and Senate would jointly put something on this committee. So we changed that. Other than that, it's identical to the 2010 committee makeup.
Could I ask one more question?
Yes.
So it's interesting. And the reason I mentioned that is my son took an economics class, and I'll just give you the background.
Mm-hmm.
And there was the talk between economists and CPAs and how their brains function differently. And if we're talking like tax reform, then I think it's probably pretty incumbent that there be like CPAs on the, like guaranteed on there, because economists always think about the future and what's going to happen. and predict that. And then CPAs actually think about what it is. And if you're going to talk about tax reform, I think it would just add to it if we added CPAs in there guaranteed versus, I would even pull off some of the economists and put in there the CPAs because we're not predicting revenue. But thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions? Do I hear a motion? Oh, do you have a question? Motion? Second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? One no, the rest ayes. Senator, you got your bill.
All
Thank you.
right.
Very, very
Thank you,
good.
Mr. Chairman.
You'll report that to the Rules Chairman of the House. And it'll move forward. Thank you all very much for coming today. Appreciate it.